Hi, how are you? It's Dr. Farley. I want to go over with you now something called dysbiosis in human disease. So, what does that mean, dysbiosis? Well, if you go back and you look at what's creating a lot of disease inside of us, a lot of things go back to the gut. Although the brain is the master system, the gut and the brain have major communication pathways back and forth. And inside your gut, you've got stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Inside your large intestine, you have these bacteria that are not pathogenic, which means they don't make you sick, and they're normal, and you need them, and they do a lot of things for you. Over a time frame, if that balance of the bacteria goes off, well, then you go into what's called dysbiosis. Dysbiosis means too many bad guys. You can have multiple reasons for dysbiosis, but one of the main reasons for dysbiosis is a weak brain, which fires down to your gut, doesn't release enough hydrochloric acid from your parietal cells, and gradually over time, these bacteria that should be killed from the acid move right into the small intestine and large intestine. That's one of the ways. Another big one is eating the wrong food. And then lastly are drugs and medications that we take. Every drug and medication that we take creates major imbalances in our microbiome. So again, when there's a balance in the microbiome, it's called your microbiome. When there's an imbalance, it's called dysbiosis. And there's various different ways to measure this. We measure it usually through blood testing, but there can be some saliva testing, sometimes even fecal testing to look at this overall. And I want to let you know that there's different areas in the body where you may see the dysbiosis. And there's mainly 7 different areas. Let me get to my little picture here. Hold on a second. I'm going to find it. Don't worry. I'm going to find it. Maybe I should just go to the beginning of the book. Oh, I got it. Okay. So, the 7 areas where you can get dysbiosis. And what you want to know is this too. Each area has a different balance of the good and bad guy bacteria. So you can't just take one type of pre or probiotic and expect that it's going to balance everything. It won't, because different areas in your body require different bacteria to have a proper microbiome. So there's orodental, a lot of mouth issues. My girls, when they were young, were having all types of issue with cavities. And I ended up finding out they had a major gastrointestinal issue with gluten that was creating a dysbiosis there and also creating a dysbiosis in their mouth, creating the dental cavities that they were getting over and over again. We fixed the gut, which helped the mouth, all gone. Sinorespiratory. This is, the ear, nose, and throat area there. I have people, I was just out last night listening to a guy that every time I talk to him, he's all clogged up like this, so he can't even look. So that's a chronic dysbiosis going on up in the sinus area. So if you're getting chronic sinusitis and you need antibiotics over and over and over again, all you're doing is making your problem worse. Gastrointestinal. 85% of everyone's immune system is in the gastrointestinal system, and there's a major area of microbiome. Overall, by the way, our microbiome, we have 10 times the amount of bacteria that live inside of us than our own cells. So 70 trillion human cells, 700 trillion bacteria that are supposed to live inside of us. So this is a key player in your overall health. Parenchymal tissue. This would be like the liver, the small intestine, the lymph nodes, and other tissues throughout your body. Genitourinary, cutaneous, skin, and then there also can be environmental causes of dysbiosis and microbial causes of dysbiosis. Just want to let you know also that a simple 1 round of antibiotics can cause dysbiosis in multiple different areas throughout your body, and you may never get that under control from even 1 round. 2 rounds, it's a lot. 3 rounds, oh my gosh. So I go back and I ask people, hey, how many rounds of antibiotics have you been on? So every time you take the antibiotic, you might get rid of the bad guys, but you're also getting rid of some of your good guys. And you're definitely creating dysbiosis every single time you take that. So over a time frame, if I ask someone, hey, how many rounds of antibiotics have you been on? And they say, hey, more than 5? Wow, that's a lot. You tell me 10? Wow, that's a lot. Hey, oh, you took antibiotics all the time when you were a kid because you had ear infections or chronic bronchitis or bad skin? Oh my gosh. So this is a major player. And then there's got to be a program designed specifically at restoring the normal bacteria and restoring your normal microbiome. Because if your microbiome is off, your health will never be there. The microbiome in your gut specifically is the first line of your immune system. So that microbiome, that balance of the bacteria, gets rid of bad guys. It gets rid of parasites, yeast, bacteria, other pathogens, viruses, all of that. It keeps it in check. But if that's out of balance, all these bad guys grow inside of you. And then gradually over a time frame, you will create chronic sustained inflammation because all these pathogens are messing with you. By the way, we run an excellent test on this called your Array 12. If you haven't gotten it done and you want to discuss it with me, we can chat about it. To see how bad the dysbiosis is and whether you have these major pathogens taking place or not. So what else? The other thing you want to know is this too. If you have dysbiosis, it's been involved in almost every single disease you can think of, from rheumatoid arthritis to ulcerative colitis to dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, other neurodegenerative diseases, Lou Gehrig's disease, lupus, scleroderma, infertility. I mean, a tremendous amount of things can come from a patient that has a dysbiosis going on in one or multiple different areas. So thanks. I hope this was helpful. The other thing, one last thing is this also. I take a probiotic. Many times that's inappropriate because if the food is incorrect, you're going to grow bad guys. We also know for sure now that just taking a certain probiotic doesn't do it for a lot of people, again, because there's different bacteria that should be in different places. And then lastly, we also now are looking at things that are prebiotics, meaning these are the foods to grow the good guys. So just taking a probiotic, that doesn't do the trick many times. Thanks, and if you have any questions, let me know.